Peace dreamers, what's going on? So I just wanted to come in real quick for a little story time, for a little message time that came through late last night, early this morning. And it definitely felt like it was one of those things like, get it out, share it, this is important. So essentially I'm laying down, getting ready for bed, kind of in my in-between awake, asleep space, in the hallway. And I hear the empire is built in cycles. The empire is built in cycles. And it hit, and I was like, oh, the empire is built in cycles, It's like that saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it's like, it was deeper than that. It was like a message, a personal message, of don't think that you weren't doing the work, or don't think that you weren't working towards the vision, the bigger picture, just because you didn't put up the whole structure overnight, just because the whole empire wasn't built in one season, in one cycle. It's like the phases of the moon. It's not better when it's full and better when it's new. It's not better when it's waxing or waning. It's just a part of the cycle. So, I'm going into sleep, going into rest, and I hear the empire is built in cycles. So I kind of fall asleep a little bit. Less than an hour later, I'm woken up, and I was just like, let me try to go back to sleep, but something was nagging at me. My guys, they were nagging at me. They're like, get up, and I'm like, okay. They're like Saturn and Pisces, and I'm like, huh. Interesting, because my Saturn is in Pisces. So I'm online and I'm like, Saturn and Pisces. So I go to my chart, I'm looking at my degrees, looking at my houses, looking at everything, and the message that I got for myself was fucking profound, like cosmic epiphany of the year, but that's not exactly what this message is about. It's about that first message. The empire is built in cycles. Whatever that empire is for you, whatever that vision is for you, whatever that dream is for you, whatever that thing is for you that you're here to build, that you're here to construct and build and make it happen. Be easy on yourself, because it's built in cycles. You put the foundation down. Then you work on one corner, you put up a pillar, you put up a pillar, you put up a pillar, and it's happening in cycles, it's happening in seasons. So even when you thought you weren't doing the work, look back, you have a corner of the empire built already. You have a corner of it mastered, whole and complete. So then fast forward, I'm woken up and I'm told Saturn and Pisces, and I'm like, okay, interesting. Looking at my chart, getting my personal epiphanies. But then it went deeper than that, because I was like, wait a second, Saturn is in Aquarius right now, doing its thing. But Saturn is gonna move into Pisces in just a little over a year and a half. I wanna say it's March 2023. We have Saturn move into Pisces. So then I was breaking it down and I'm looking at all these, the essence behind Saturn, which is, law and order, structure, professionalism, status. It's like all those limitation. It's all those hardcore things that Saturn represents. And Pisces is, Pisces is watery, deep waters, depth, the psychic, the dreamer, in between worlds, always. So I'm like, okay, we're in this Saturn energy in Aquarius right now, where it's like changing the structure and how the collective and how humanity is fitting and folding together currently. And then we're gonna move into watery, dreamy, mystical Pisces. So it's like between now and the next, let's say, year and a half before we get to March 2023, this is like prerequisite time, is the way that I was shown. This is like, get all your ducks in a row, This is the time to work on the bigger vision. But the closer that we get to that Saturn in Pisces, it's gonna have to be zeroed in and made to have so much more depth, you know? It can't be elusive and airy like it is in Aquarius right now. It's gonna have to get really, really pinpointed, focused, and deep within the self. So, you know, we're moving into that creative, dreamer, watery space, but building a foundation in it with Saturn. Making the dreams professional, so to speak, is essentially what we're preparing to move into. So I thought this message was crazy. Obviously, I got my own personal, you know, uploads, downloads, epiphanies through this, but I felt like it was a bigger message of know that the empire is being built in cycles. Know that you're in a space, in a place right now where you're looking at your bigger picture, you're looking at your bigger vision, but you're gonna have to go deeper in the next year and a half. You're gonna have to go deeper. You're gonna have to get your emotions involved in a holistic, deep, true, like watery place. So I want to pull a few cards to see what is the vision, what is this Saturn, what is the prerequisites, really, that's what it is. What is the prerequisites of this next, you know, year and a half of Saturn making this transition? Because Saturn is gonna, you know, Santa Claus is coming to town regardless, you know. Saturn is gonna come, bring law, order, you know, karma, whether you're prepared for it or not. So I feel like this is a place where it's just like, it's time to get deeper. It's time to get a little more focused. And it's time to prepare for the waters, for the deep dive of it all. Because with Saturn, you know, also symbolizing limitation, it's like your waters could dry up if you're not prepared. If you're not cultivating the spaces, you know, ahead of time. If you're not, I want to say, building the dam, to be honest, to make sure that your waters are safe, secure, and ready to keep flowing. It's like that shit could dry up. So let's see what the focus of this next, I know it's such a big time frame, but for this next year and a half of prerequisites before we move into that Saturn and Pisces energy, that dreamer energy, but with a seriousness, a focused intent. So let's see this pre-Saturn and Pisces energy, what it wants to say. Okay, let's see, honey. Let's see. Ooh, come on, Spirit. Come on, Spirit, come through. They're like, yes, sis, you on the right track. Nourish the sacred feminine. Is that water? Is the sacred feminine water, deep water, Pisces? Oh, okay. I know we're in Aquarius, and as someone with a lot of Aquarian energy, that detachment is real. The cerebral stimulation is real. The elusiveness is real. The ability to focus more on the collective than the self is real. And I'm not saying neglect that while we're still in this Saturn Aquarius energy. This is talking about balance between the air and the water, the transition of it. How is it going to transition? It doesn't have to be jarring. It doesn't have to be like elusive Aquarius into deep emotional psychic Pisces. If you do the work ahead of time, if you plant the seeds ahead of time, if you nurture and nourish the waters ahead of time. Nourish the sacred feminine. Aquarius almost has that like masculine energy, right? Pisces has that deep, watery, feminine energy. So it's like being prepared. Ooh, it says lead your metamorphosis on the bottom of the deck. Lead your metamorphosis, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a change. It's going to be a transition. It's going to be moving into a new space, moving into a new place, moving into a new element, which is very different than Aquarius. So I'm feeling like start tending to the waters now. And the thing that is beautiful, the Dharma wheel it turns so perfectly. It turns so perfectly. Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius can walk around in its own elusive space, but still carry the waters to pour, to give. You need some, you need some. Worrying about the collective. Worrying about the collective. But in Pisces, the deep waters is embodying all the water that was just poured. Embodying the depths of the ocean. So it's like, prepare to move from a space of pouring the water into a space of living and embodying the water in a way that is real and solid and structured and kind of badass with that Saturn energy. Like, I own my emotions. I own their embodiment. I own it, you know? I own it. So the whole deck wanted to fall on the floor. We're gonna grab that real quick. All right, let's see if we can get a deeper message. A deeper message for this nourish the sacred feminine. As we're in the pre-stages of Saturn and Pisces, bringing a professionalism, a realism to those dreams, to those waters, to those abilities, you know? Let's see what message we can get. Let's get one at a time. Let's get one more. For all of you who are water signs already, God bless you. Truly, God has blessed your soul. Because, you know, as someone who's not necessarily the wateriest person, it's real. This is real work. This is real work. You know what I'm saying? Real work. All right. So nourish the sacred feminine we had. And then underneath that, we have the Chariot, Six of Pentacles, and the Mother of Pentacles, aka the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, it's forward movement. It's forward movement, getting a head start on the movement, getting a head start on the transition of things. Because Saturn is going to bring lucrative energy. As tough as it may be, as much as people want to criticize and make Saturn the bad guy, Saturn will bring structure to your life so that abundance can flow. It'll bring discipline into your life so that you're not looping through the same cycles. It'll bring literally like a tower moment into your life so that you're not putting in work and energy into the shit that really doesn't matter. Saturn wants reciprocity. Saturn wants law and order, you know? And Pisces wants the depths. It wants to be psychic. It wants to be dreamy. It wants to be the embodiment of everything that came before it, the 11 zodiac signs that came before it. It wants to be in its allness. But Saturn's coming along and saying, in order to move forward and to have any sort of reciprocity in your life, there needs to be a balancing. There needs to be harmonizing. There needs to be a letting go of what was. Letting go of the elusiveness and tuning back in, getting grounded, ironically, within your sacred waters. And then finally, we have the Mother of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. And this is nourishment. This is nourishment. This is nourishing the sacred feminine. This is moving into a space where it's like you're not so buried and burdened in your emotions and overwhelmed in your emotions like Pisces can be out of balance, but you're harmonious. You're balanced in your emotions, so much so that you can give to others. That you can give to others like Aquarius wants to do. But you're also nourished and grounded and confident within yourself, within your beingness. So over the next year and a half, a little more, prepare for the transition. This is all very, 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 very earthy energy. And this is just saying that every element is going to be involved in this metamorphosis. In this metamorphosis, in this transition from airy energy into watery energy, you're actually going to have to get grounded. Every element is going to help you along the way. Tuning into your receptivity. Moving forward with an open, receptive heart. Having a healthy expectation of reciprocity. Having a healthy balance, sense of self, but sense of other simultaneously. Because everything that's going to be built and created with that Saturnian energy, the other is going to be involved. But the self needs to be taken care of first within that Pisces energy. So I mean, I hope this message made a little bit of sense. You know, we're in a year and a half prerequisite of this shift even occurring, but it hit me last night. You know, like I said, the empire is built in cycles. So, you know, there's no use in us waiting till the last minute, like, oh shit, we're in Saturn and Pisces now, and I'm not prepared for these waters. Start getting ready now. Start getting ready for your metamorphosis now. Start your forward progression. Either way, Saturn is moving. It is still in Aquarius right now, but it is moving. It is going to be moving. Right now, it's in a little bit of a retrograde period, but guess what? That's going to stop and that's going to move forward with the same vigor and progression. So we need to move forward with the same vigor and progression and take ourselves, I hate to use this phrase because I don't want it to be like dry and like Saturnian, but I mean like take your dreams seriously. That's what it really is. Start to take your dreams seriously. Start to take what you wonder about seriously. Start to take your abilities seriously. And not in a way where it's cold and dry, but be like, yo, this is real. This is real, and I can and I will build a life from it. I can and I will build a life, a legacy, an empire from, you know, my dreams, from what I believe in, from what I feel, Pisces. As someone who hasn't been, you know, too accustomed to being in the waters, I can't tell you how much I've been feeling Pisces energy. And that is one sign, I love you, but I was just like, I couldn't even imagine being that deep in the water all the time. But now I'm learning this respect and reciprocity for those deep waters, for that deep emotion. And, you know, by the time my Saturn moves into Pisces, by the time the collective Saturn moves into Pisces, I expect to be prepared for that. I expect to be moving forward with vigor and preparedness. So I felt like that was the point and that was the purpose of me coming with this message today. And it's like, don't get caught slipping when Saturn comes to town. Because, you know, it's like sees you when you're naughty, sees you when you're nice. You know, no matter what, Saturn is going to come and be like, yo, I saw everything. Are you prepared? Because I am, no matter what. So get prepared, get moving, get real about your dreams and know that they can create the life around you, that they can create the foundation and the structure of your life, that they can be your profession, so to speak. Whatever that dream, that ability is inside of you, Saturn's like, all right, yeah, I'll help you build it, sure, you know? So nourish that feminine reciprocity, and you know, you'll see it reflected back to you in your world. So I'm happy to share this message with you. If you guys were feeling this energy, if you were feeling this Saturn energy, feeling this Pisces energy, if you are Pisces, I definitely want to hear from you. But yeah, I think that's it. I feel like that's the mood, that's the vibe, that's the message, that's the story. That's all she wrote. So I love you guys so much. Until next time, peace, love, and keep those dreams dreaming, living, popping. Till next time, peace.